Hi Tanisha, how you doing? Okay, here's what we have. I got your final poster up. Good job correcting that slant on the Toni Morrison type. I think it looks so much better now. I think the front's looking pretty good. There's a couple of comments I have. I'm going to move to the back here, but before I do so, I want to mention that whenever you're in presentation mode, you definitely want to submit a multi-page file instead of multiple files. It's really important. The assumption is that you are trying to make it as easier for the viewer, that potentially being a potential employer or a potential client. So it's really a good idea. It's also an industry best practice standard to submit a multiple page file instead of multiple files. Okay, front cover. Got a couple of things. Let me Command R this. I just want to draw a couple of guides. I want to bring a guide out. I'm just going to drop it right here, about right there on the M. Okay, and we can see that you're almost in alignment there. Actually, I wanted to pull that in a little bit further, so right to there. So you're almost in alignment there. And you see that 1993 is kind of hanging over a little bit. So I would align that with the L in literature. And let's move to the back, and then we'll take a look at the back. Now, there's a couple of things typographically I want to talk about here. The first is your body copy. And let's move in on that a little bit. Let me pull this down a little bit so you can see it. But anyways, your body copy is set in all caps, and that's not what we would consider to be a best practice in typography. You would never want to present body copy in all caps, because basically what happens is if you move back from your screen about 8 feet or so, you're going to start seeing a series of horizontal lines as opposed to text. And that's what happens. And it's really, really difficult, and it's very fatiguing to the eye to keep on trying to read this constant cap height throughout more than four lines of type. Your eyes become very fatigued. The next thing I would recommend is that you align the tops of your text boxes, so you can see that the M in Morrison is not in alignment with the cap height of this first text block. Okay, the next thing I want to mention is that you've got some really strange spacing right here. Okay, so you have this in the middle of a sentence with Morrison stating in the 1994, and then it just goes A and then afterward the rest of that word. So there's a split in this word right here, and it starts again right over here. So that's really strange. I mean, you're kind of indicating a new paragraph, but it's mid-word, so that's pretty weird. This is technically, well, it's not technically, this is a widow, and that's any kind of number or a word, single word on a line alone. You want to avoid that. Let's move down to the bottom of the poster. Now, I think that in terms of designing your timeline, I would have liked to have seen your timeline designed. We don't see that right here. Right now, we just see a series of years and a series of chronological events. I'm going to Command R this one more time because I want to show you something else. Just noticed something. Your file size is incorrect, but I'm going to drop this right here at that G, and you can see that the rest of that line, those lines are out of alignment. Okay. Your file size looks like you're at 16.54 by 23.40 for the back. The front isn't the same, so it should be 11 by 17, remember, so this is an incorrect file size. Back to the back. I would like to have seen you, if you wanted to use these orange dots for continuation, on the cover I would have used an orange, somehow use that in orange, just to reinforce those orange dots. And then the back, I would have just gone right ahead and used those dots somehow for your timeline. I think it would have made a lot of sense. Okay, and then finally, my final comment is that there's a really large negative space right here that is kind of making this portion of the composition really super top heavy, because your margin right here is about an inch, half an inch from the top. I'm sorry, that would be about an inch from the top, and then here you're clearly, 4 or 5 inches from the partition of the page right there. Okay, so other than that, good job. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything else, please feel free to let me know. Okay, thanks.